end. I love my designs, and they're so great, and I'm so proud of them. And when I saw them on the models, I almost cried because I can't believe that I made that, and I still don't believe it. Like, it's a dream come true to me.
Hi, I'm Adriana, and this is my model.
Hi, my name is Grace.
And so I designed this dress that she's wearing here, and my plan for it was that it was gonna look like it's two separate pieces. This was supposed to be a bottom layer, and then this gold piece was supposed to look like it's thrown over it, if that makes any sense. And then this leather, I just wanted to incorporate different types of fabrics. Like this one is suede, this one is, I think it's a knit, and it's leather. And if I could, I think what inspires me is I would really one day want to dress Pharrell Williams. So I just look at him and I'm like, oh, this is colorful, he'd like this. So he's someone I'd want to dress, someone I'd make clothes for. So yeah, that was my inspiration for my dress.
This is my second year doing it for Burke. And the first year I did glitz and glam, and I had sunglasses, and it was a big hit. And I had a fur coat, so I love the glitz and glam and the sparkle look. And I always have to accessorize with a pair of eyewear. So this year it was these. They're not really sunglasses, but they're close. So that's just really what I like to do.
I'm Alec Rasmussen. I just showed at Omaha Fashion Week Student Night, and this is one of my dresses I had made. So up here I had hand embroidered everything, and I had done slits on the side for very, modifiable, so if the model has gained weight or bloated, it will easily change for her. And then if the chest on the model or the person is bigger, it can get smaller or larger. And I wanted to improve my looks from last time and go with something really experimental with changing everything on it and making everything modifiable, if I use that word too many times. And I wanted to go with something very feminine rather than all leather. But that's the look I've been going for recently.
Hi, we're here with Andrea, and we just saw her collection, and it was absolutely beautiful. Andrea, tell us, what was the concept? What was the idea? What was the vision? How did you come up with this idea?
So one day I was just sitting at home looking at my chakra bracelet, and I was like, I like these beads. I'm going to make them into dresses. So instantly I went to the sketchboard and just started drawing out dresses with god loads of beads, and I ended up with this one ultimately, and I am in love with it, every single bite of it. So.
Well, and that beading, it must have taken a lot of time, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Were they hand sewn or were they
hand sewn?
Hand sewn. Oh my goodness, people. It was all hand sewn. That takes some time.
Oh yeah.
Dedication.
It does. I actually had another dress show tonight that took me almost 3 weeks of beading. So.
Can you imagine 3 weeks of beading? I can't. But that's amazing. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
How did you get into Omaha Fashion Week, into design in general? What was your main drive to get into
So when I was younger, my grandma and I used to bond over when I would sew. So she taught me how to start embroidering and everything at a young age. And just from there, my love of fashion grew. In high school, I had a doubtful moment that I didn't want to do it, but I pushed myself for it, and I actually applied last August and got in. So I was re-showing it tonight and just super happy to be back.
Well, what an accolade to be able to say, hey, I'm in fashion school and now I'm in Fashion Week. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Have a great night and good luck. Thank you. Hi, we're here with Aya Zacharias, and we just saw her showcase this gorgeous garment. I mean, come on. Are you seeing this right now, people? Look at that. And even down, to the T, her styling is just on point to no extent. Tell me, what was your idea with this one? Where were you going with it? Or how did it come about?
Yeah, so it was a class project, and just to experiment with different types of manipulating fabric. And so I manipulated the fabric into strips by cutting it, and it turned into this kind of dress. And then we made it on a half scale, and I decided to make it full scale because I thought it'd be really cool. So it's just kind of weird and a lot of fun, yeah.
How did you get involved with Omaha Fashion Week?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I love fashion. I live in Omaha, so I've been drawn to this event. Like, I always just love to come and experience the atmosphere, but I actually am involved tonight with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Amazing.
And I'm a design student there. So this is actually a piece I made for my experimental class.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you, Sarah.
And
Here is like some Yara Shahidi vibes, and we have some evening gloves like we've been seeing on the runway a lot lately. We saw them on Ariana Grande and in gray, and Takita, you get it.
we all get
We
it.
love it. We love it. We love to see it.
Amazing. Thank you, Aya. All right, we are here with Hannah and all of her beautiful designs. And clearly we've got something going on together because we both got tie-dye and it's coming back, baby. Well, Hannah, how did you get into design and what brought you to Omaha Fashion Week?
So it's actually kind of funny because our cameraman is Dan Richters, and he was my mentor at the Kent Bellows studio many years ago, and he helped me create my first garment. But before that, I have always been into fashion, just doing it on dolls at homes and throwing together blankets, wrapping them around and seeing how best they fit. And from there, I just have continued to design, and it's something that I really love. I just like to use old materials and make them new.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like linen vibes, and it reminds me of Free People. Has that had any? Do you like? Have you ever delved in that brand?
Free People, love them
Anthropology.
dearly. Yes, love. But this was more just kind of an experiment to see what I could do with all of these handkerchiefs that I had. They're like placemat handkerchief things. It's just like kind of a million of them, and as I put them on the form, it just kind of came into its shape. And this shirt used to be a long linen dress, and now it's a top, so it's an upcycled kind of fun outfit.
Well, I'll be looking out for your designs because I'm a fan and I want to buy them.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us. I appreciate it. Hi, I'm here with Mercedes Alvarez, and we just saw her gorgeous collection of headdresses. Tell me about this.
So last year I was messing around with kind of like a Baroque style, like ornamental pieces. And my gown last year featured, like I said, Baroque style ornament. And I decided to go with a really big, over-the-top headpiece last year. And I discovered that I'm actually pretty good at making headpieces, so I wanted to incorporate that into as many designs as I could for this upcoming, show. So that's what I did. And I got the Barbie doll look, like the idea to do Barbie dolls, to kind of work in like a kind of social commentary on, like, young women having to grow up, quicker than they have to, and kind of holding on to like the, I suppose, like younger interests, which is why I worked in the Barbie doll. And then for the other one, I had flames, and I did it for a hard drape for my class. And so then I worked in the candles and the pearls just because I thought it looked really pretty. So
Well, I thought they were absolutely gorgeous. So I am excited to see what you've got coming up in the future. Do you have any plans? Have you been thinking about what your new designs will be coming up?
yeah, so I graduate here coming up pretty soon. So I'm hoping that once I graduate, I can really focus on a full collection. And I think when I do a collection, I'm going to do gowns that incorporate kind of, I don't know, I guess like I've always had trouble kind of articulating like how I work in kind of unique pieces into like a kind of classic, like stereotypical beautiful gown. So I guess we'll just see how that
Taking
goes.
in a unique edge and then
Yeah,
making it classic.
kind of making it edgier. So that's what I
love
want to
that.
focus on. So yeah.
Well, I'm all about the class and the edge, so sign me in, okay? Well,
Yeah,
I'm here
so-
for it. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate it.
We are here with Caitlin McCall, and her line was absolutely inspiring. How did you find out about Omaha Fashion Week?
So I saw a post on Instagram, a call for designers for Omaha Fashion Week, and I just jumped in and applied.
How did you decide to go with the knit idea, or like that inspiration of knit?
It's just something that I wanted to experiment with, and I have my own knitting machine at home, So I use a vintage machine from the 1980s and just knocked it out.
There's something so like chic about them and so cozy at the same time. Like, how did you come up with that concept?
All right, so originally I do tailoring. So my background is in pattern making and fitting. So I really build things up around fit and comfort and function, and then add the creative stuff.
Thank you so much for coming to Omaha, and I hope you're having a great time. How do you like it so far?
It's awesome. Yeah, I love it here.
Have you gone anywhere special that you like, or like?
Yeah, we went to the old market downtown, checked out M's, had dinner there. Yeah.
One spot you have to check out is La Buvette. That's my favorite spot. You got to do it. If you like wine, wear your comfortable clothes and grab a glass of wine. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you. And good luck. We can't wait to see what she does next. What was the kind of driving force of your idea and your inspirations?
So I'm normally a formal wear designer, and so this is my first time doing like a streetwear line, but I also want to incorporate elements of my formal wear into streetwear. But also like my normal aesthetic is kind of like Victorian Gothic, like sporty. It's kind of weird. I've mixed three aesthetics together that normally aren't mixed together, and I decided like to see what happened to it. I was like, what if you mix like a corset and then like overalls and a cloak and like a bralette, but then also being sustainable at the same time. Like some things were made out of like the linings of an old wedding dress was like that white shirt, upcycled leather on the bralette on look one, like things like that. I'm also being like sustainable while also trying to create something that's very like polished and very fresh.
Well, and it's like, okay, I could wear that to work, I could wear that to a night out. Like, it's everything encompassed in one outfit.
Yeah, that was the goal, to be able to wear it for like any kind of event. You can easily go from like just day wear and just walk into a club and you'll easily just blend in. You fit in. Yeah, just pop on some glitter.
I might have to touch up my makeup, but
Maybe
I
like
still
put
fit
on
it.
Some Swarovski crystal glasses from Pretty and Patina. And then you can be
Pretty and Patina here in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes, they are amazing.
Got one of my favorite coats from there. So.
Oh yeah, favorite glasses from there.
It's one of the best. I am so floored to have
so
the
much.
pleasure to see your collection. I am
so
so impressed, and I can't wait to see what you have next coming up for us.
Okay, I actually can tell you a little bit.
Yes.
So we're gonna flip it completely 180. We're doing pastel ball gowns, all ball gowns. So stay tuned.
We're flipping it over. It is coming up.
Coming back, yeah.
We love it. I cannot wait to see this. We are here with Hannah Christina at Omaha Fashion Week 2020. Your line was absolutely stunning. People were cheering in the crowds. How did that feel for you?
It was amazing. Yeah, backstage, as soon as the first look went out, I immediately just heard people like cheering, and I almost cried. I didn't cry, but I almost did, because I was just like, all my hard work these past few months is now worth it.
And how did that past few months look like for you? Like, was it, I'm sure it was nuts.
Yes, crazy. Lots of late night sewing, lots of hand sewing because of the sequins and everything. But yeah, very stressful.
Where did you decide to like find your fabrics, or how did you find your look, like your kind of your vibe, you know?
Yeah, so, well, the original vibe kind of came from the peacock feather. I used to have a pet peacock, so that's kind of what spurred that. But I really like the colors that go with it, so I really based it off of the blues and the greens and the golds. And like deciding what fabrics and everything to use with that, it kind of came to me, well, I love Mood, first of all, so I get a lot of my fabrics from Mood. They had the stretch velvet. It was gorgeous. They posted a photo on their Instagram of a dress made with that fabric, and I was like, I need to use that. So
sign me up, please.
So that was the fabric that started it, and then to kind of build off that, I wanted to really kind of play with textures some more. I tend to do that with each collection, so I wanted to do something different. So then I looked at Etsy a lot for the feathers, for the sequin fabric, because they have everything that you could imagine. So mainly, I was just browsing Mood and then Etsy to kind of fill in the gaps.
Well, you clearly did it well, and I am so excited to see what you do next. I cannot wait. I hope you come back to Omaha Fashion Week, because your line was everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate meeting you.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you too.
We are here with Esmeralda, and she just showed her amazing collection here at Omaha Fashion Week 2020. Tell me, Esmeralda, how did you get into fashion? What was your inspiration for, this is my thing, this is what I want to get into, this is my life?
Well, I would have to say it was a struggle. I grew up with like 6 brothers and sisters, and so I grew up with hand-me-downs, and I was like, let me create something that is for me. And then once I started doing that, I just kept going because I love it so much, and it makes me feel good, and I wanted to make other people feel good too.
What really got you involved in Omaha Fashion Week? How did you even find out about it, or who really like gave you that nudge to get into it?
It was actually a fellow designer, Roger Figueroa. Sorry if I said it wrong, but yeah, he's a fellow designer from Kansas City, and we all support each other there. And he was very kind to tell me about this amazing opportunity, and I'm just so glad that I was accepted because this show is so amazing and it's so big for me.
Well, and you know what? Your collection really shined. I mean, everyone was applauding you. It was absolutely stunning. We are here with Lauren Glowacki, and her designs were insanely gorgeous. What got you involved in fashion? What made you inspired? Was it something that you've always wanted to do as a child? I mean, just tell me everything.
Well, I started getting into fashion when I was younger. Like, I really liked wearing dresses and cute skirts. And then I started to look for things that were more unique because everyone wore the same thing. And I was like, well, I can do little DIY things to make my outfits different. And then I graduated into making them from scratch. So that's how I get into it.
What was the first garment you ever made?
I actually first made Halloween costumes for me and my friend. We were boxers, so I had like the shiny shorts and the jacket. Yeah, it was really fun.
How did you get involved in Omaha Fashion Week?
Well, my mom and I would come to the shows a lot, and I always like fell in love with it. And then my mom was like, "Oh, well, you should apply." And I was like, "No way! Like, I'm so nervous." But yeah, last fall I applied for the first time and I got in. So
it's like if you don't try, you never know.
Right.
So
exactly.
I'm glad you did.
Yes, I'm so.
What are your next steps? What do you see in the future for yourself?
I just started college and I am a fashion studies major. So I'm learning lots of good things, new techniques and everything that I need to do. So following down that path. Yeah.
What school are you going to?
Columbia College, Chicago.
I lived there for 6 years. I love me some Chicago. That's
It.
amazing. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
I'm here with Alex Scarpello, the designer of Ronin Scar. He's just showed his collection, and I would love to ask him what inspired him this season.
So for me, it was about my emotional states, essentially the light, the dark, and the in-between, and how I use emotion as inspiration and kind of fuel for like the things I make. And it's titled Emerging from a Dark Forest. So it's essentially like a narrative of the models like going through my mind or like the forest, and then I'm kind of like processing them, and the emotions I feel I put into the clothes.
So we had a sincerely amazing collection from Alex this season. We thought it was very good. So what inspired you to only use grayscale in your collection?
It came from trying to represent emotion the best way I could, and then also from a Chinese movie titled Shadow, and that movie is only in like the grayscale, so just black, white, and gray. So that really like kind of fueled me to only use those colors.
Alex, thank you so much for talking to us.
We're here with Alicia Fashionista. Her designs were absolutely fabulous.
Thank you.
And I mean, look at this fabric. It's gorgeous. Tell me, how did you even find this fabric?
Well, all of the fabric came from Mood. So I got it all from Mood. And I was looking for like the metallic and the pastels.
Yes.
And it kind of just evolved into like narrowing down all of the fabrics because they have so many.
Right? Well, I mean, and where did you come up with all the silhouettes? I mean, these silhouettes are just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, that's a good question. Well, thank you. And that's the other thing. I wanted to make sure that the fabric showed most. So that's why I went with like more simple shapes, because I wanted the fabric to just stand out.
Well, it matches your hair. I mean, it is amazing. It's luminescent. I am so incredibly excited to see what you come up with next.
Thank you.
And we're so great to have you here at Omaha Fashion Week 2020. What's one thing that you want someone to take out of your line?
The collection was called Born, B-O-R-N, 1920. And basically what it's about is my rebirth as an artist and a designer. Spiritually, emotionally, I went through some tough times where like really dark periods of my life, and I wasn't really happy as a person. And so this was about me climbing out of that dark hole and then rebirth and bringing my art back to life. And it was like a lively collection, Born Again, basically is what this is about. So I want people to take away that, you know what, sometimes things happen and we go to dark places and it's okay, but just live another day and just hang on, because there is a brighter horizon at the end of the day for you. Just hang on and be born again. That's what this is about.
But what a way to end Omaha Fashion Week 2020 with Boris.
Oh, Sarah, I'm
And
glad
his
you guys.
message.
I'm so glad you guys had me back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
we will have you back more and more.
I hope so. I hope so.
More and more, Boris.
Omaha Fashion Week. I love you. Mwah.
We love you too. Welcome to the finale of Omaha Fashion Week 2020. We are here with Megan Williams. Her collection was absolutely stunning and euphorical. I mean, it was just everything. It was giving me some Free People vibes.
Yes.
And I just love the hair. I mean, everything about your collection was just completely yourself. And I just, what brought that to your mind?
So the whole inspiration behind it, it's called Sonder, and Sonder means that every random passerby has their own story. So I studied abroad in London and I lived in New York for a little bit, so I just kind of was really inspired by all the different stories of the people I was surrounded by. So I really wanted to kind of embody a vintage fairy tale. So that's where all the fabric inspiration came from, and all the patchwork I did kind of represents the intertwining of all the different stories in life.
I love that. And so how did you feel wearing these clothes? I mean, you must have felt gorgeous and just, I mean, ethereal.
Yes, it's very comfortable and just very flowy, elegant. I just feel like I'm walking through a meadow.
And that's what we put a lot of flowers in their hair, because my whole thing is I wanted them to look like they were frolicking. They just got done frolicking through a field. So that's what the messy hair and the flowers in the hair are like.
Yeah, it literally felt like a fairy tale. So, I mean, I think you did justice to exactly what you were imagining, and I think you did an amazing job, and I cannot wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for talking with me. Appreciate it. We are here with Michael Drummond. His collection was first and foremost the opening night. Where did you decide, like, how did you decide to, like, kind of go in that realm of the metallics and all of the blacks and kind of classic colors?
Well, that's what my client wears. That's what I wear. Classic, a little edgy. It's always just about being able to like really wear something timelessly, but feel edgy and different.
Right. But tell me, like, how did you get involved in Omaha Fashion Week?
A friend of mine, a colleague in St. Louis, Paulie Gibson, he invited me or introduced me, and it's been fun ever since. They keep asking me back, which is such an honor.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been nice.
So you currently live in St.
I do,
Louis?
yeah.
Amazing.
Living there, making it happen.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to trek on down or up over.
It's not too far.
Over and
It's
up.
only
It's
a
like
little
6
bit.
hours or
It's
so.
not horrible.
If you drive.
Right.
Yeah, which I like.
So tell me about this piece specifically. Like, what was the inspiration here?
Honestly, it's just a play on the peplum, and it's the inspiration is, again, it's just like listening to my clients and what they want to wear, and natural fibers, and then we print it on top of it to give it a little edge, and just keeping it simple.
It's amazing. Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah, my
It was
pleasure.
such a pleasure to see your collection, and I can't wait to see what you do next. We're here with Clarissa Knighton, and her collection was a showstopper, let me just tell you. I mean, come on. Your pieces are just so incredibly inspiring.
Thank you.
But tell me how you kind of got into this. I mean, what made you inspired to do amazing neck work?
Well, so I have been designing for 13 years, almost 13 years, and a full-time artist for 2.5 years, almost 3. And I feel like wearable art is where it is right now.
Yeah.
So if you have a position or you have something you want to show and you don't want to really talk, so wear versus artistic design, wear one of my pieces, and that's your conversation.
Right.
So you can have a conversation around that piece.
I love that.
And I believe that like this collection with the deer antler was important to me. It's been in my mind for the last 3 years. And so it's a matter of how can I present it in such a way that it's jewelry and people don't even realize what it is.
Right. I mean, and so what was the inspiration for the deer antler itself? What was that kind of, you just kind of came to you? Or was
So it was in a dream.
Yeah.
In a dream,
Amazing.
God showed me what He wanted me to do. I just had to figure out how to pull it together and pull it off.
Well, Kale, you literally got the applause from everybody tonight. I mean, everyone was dying out there.
You have to see the back side of his piece.
Okay.
So this back piece is actually a front piece necklace. So it was supposed to come down the front, but because we had those deer antlers, we decided to turn it around, and he pulled it off.
Well,
don't forget the rings there on his hands.
I'm all about the rings, okay? We're friendship, okay? I'm into it. I'm looking your stuff up because I'm obsessed.
Thank you. Rissa's Artistic Design. Yes.
Thank you so much. We were so pleased to see your collection.